I play this character named Rory, and Rory's Rory Calhoun, and he's basically a guy who is a kind of a rule follower, and he sands floors for a living, and he's got a kind of in his backstory, he's got a problematic relationship with his son, and really no relationship with an ex-wife. And when we kind of find him at the beginning of the movie, he's pretty down. He doesn't kind of present as particularly depressed, but his mind is kind of going to some pretty dark places, and he's kind of starting to think about what the point of all this is. And it's in that context that he kind of makes this rash, kind of radical decision to participate in a crime for the first time in his life. And so that's how he kind of enters into this world. So he kind of brings the audience into this world of kind of petty criminals in Boston. And the three kind of main characters are Casey's character, this guy Cobby, who's a career kind of criminal, but really he's just this guy who's looking for a friend, and he really wants to belong, and he's kind of up for anything. And then my character Rory, who's doing this, who's committing a crime for the first time, and then my psychiatrist, who Hong Chow plays, who kind of gets swept up in this, and basically, for reasons of her own, decides to kind of participate in our escape, basically in an attempt to do therapy, and convince me to turn myself in. And so she kind of comes along in an attempt to try to resolve everything without me getting hurt or anybody getting hurt. And so those are kind of your three characters who kind of get thrown together and end up together. Nothing goes the way that they were kind of told it should go. Kind of everything goes wrong right from the outset. They think they're walking into a restaurant where there'll be a couple people working in the kitchen, and they're going to zip tie them, and they walk in, and there's 40 people, and the event that was supposed to be over hours ago is still going because it's an election event, and the mayor hasn't conceded the election, and so there's people everywhere in this building, and so they're kind of forced to improvise, but they don't really know what they're doing, and so things kind of spiral from there. The tone, that was what kind of jumped off the page, and it's very, very difficult to get tone like that right, and that was why Doug was really the only person we thought of to do it. He is so good at that, and has done it so many times, and it's really almost like kind of creating a world, like an entire world of its own. And I remember going back to like the mood board he showed me for The Bourne Identity, where I went, oh, and like you go and look at the final film, and I could think back to that mood board and go, yeah, that's what that was. It was all kind of there, and but to do that, it's so difficult because it's such like attention to detail, and he's really, what I love about him as a director is that he's allergic to tropes. And it's really easy to fall into those when you're doing a movie like this that's a little higher concept, and it's an action comedy, and it's very easy to kind of fall into these things that have been done before, you've seen before, and that's what he really is, just resists at a kind of at a cellular level. So he's always pushing back. What makes this more fun? Well, we really want it to be a fun, entertaining movie. So what makes it more fun? What's something that's unique that we haven't seen before? And that's what I think kind of, if you look at his body of work, it's always really surprising what happens in his movies. The tone is always very unique and you go like, I haven't seen anything like that before, whether it's Go or The Bourne Identity or Edge of Tomorrow or Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It's always really interesting and unique. It still feels somehow grounded in reality, as kind of crazy as things can get, and that's really the trick. Like, how do you do a movie about something serious, but don't make it feel serious? Make it really fun. Well, Hong's amazing. I mean, I've worked with her before. I love her. She's one of my favorite actresses, and it's a very difficult role because you have to believe that she's a psychiatrist, a credible, and that she's good at her job, and you also have to believe that she gets in the car like right before a high-speed chase. It's really, and when she took the part, and I was like, this is really, This is the crux of the movie, basically, is you getting in the car. We have to, we have to kind of earn that and believe that. And so it requires like somebody who can kind of convince you of anything. So it requires kind of a great actress. So we were lucky to get her. It should be a lot of fun, and there should be some real memorable jokes and characters, and it should just be a really entertaining, good time, and maybe it sneaks up on you at the end.